right, everybody, welcome to Bob Gonzo's Comics of the Roundtable. We got a great show today. We'll start with Margaret D over here. Margaret D, there you go. We have Pam DeButts, and we have Jacob Falkovich over here, and a very legendary comic superstar, Mike Marino, New Jersey's bad boy, right here. Yes, we have everything from the pros to the beginners. And let's start with the pro. Mike, I asked you a bunch of questions last time we were on the show. I have some new ones for you. Here's a little pet peeve of a lot of comics. When you're getting ready for a show, do you have superstitions for one?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
What would superstition be? I mean...
Oh, some people have to hear a certain song. They have to go to the bathroom before they start. There's so many of them.
No.
Okay, good.
No,
All right. And here's another thing that
I might wear something that I'm supposed to wear.
Right. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, superstition is just somebody has to wear sneakers. Somebody has to wear black. Otherwise, they don't feel funny. They don't feel ready.
I don't have a superstition. I just think I don't like to mingle with anybody until I'm done.
Right.
I don't talk to anybody, but that's usually when everybody comes into the green room and annoys the crap out of you, and you forget your opening line.
Yeah. Well, that was
that's a superstition.
No, that is. That's the second part of the question. Like, it's what bugs you? What that people do before you go on?
Call me.
Talking. Yeah.
Friends and family.
Yeah.
Annoying. Maybe they'll sit in the front after you said, "Don't sit in the front. I can't see anybody I know."
Right. Yeah. Where's the place? What time does it start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
What
like
time
when I hand somebody a flyer.
Yes.
With specific
Everything on it,
directions
yeah.
and details, and they say, "Oh wow, yeah, when is it?"
Yeah. Yeah. What time do
this
you
is
go
a
on?
show?
Yeah.
What do you do? Oh,
Yep.
do you sing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a singer.
Yeah. And what kind of opening acts do you like working
Yeah.
with?
None. No.
Actually,
None.
Actually, and you're at that point in your career where you don't have to have one, right? But when you had to have one, what kind? Like, without naming names, what style did you hate when an opening act was working with you?
Either someone who would work the crowd and make them go down a different road, one that was not where I was going, or maybe a comedian would do something really, really filthy and alienated the audience, and now I got to pick up the pieces. Take you about maybe 10 to 15 minutes to win them over.
Right.
I really hate the crowd workers before a headliner, because they're going to do the typical, who's celebrating, who's partying, who's drinking, who's drunk, who wants a free drink, who's drunk, who's drinking, who's drunk. And the answer is the person in front of me that I'm on stage and you're done.
Right, yes.
So yeah, that's an annoying thing.
Yeah. First of all right, Jacob, you're new.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it?
And comedy seriously for a year.
Okay. And where did you come from? Because you don't have a New Jersey accent.
In case I confuse some with my accents. I'm from Israel.
Okay.
Been 3 years in the US and just 1 year in New York.
Oh, you've only been here for 3 years.
Yeah, I went to school in North Carolina.
Okay.
UNC Chapel Hill. Not a huge stand-up scene down there.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah.
So I did stand-up for the business school.
Right.
Just kind of for my classmates. And I moved to New York exactly a year ago in July.
Get out of here.
Oh.
So did you ever live in Jersey, though?
Well, actually, I went to high school in Jersey for half a year back when I was 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how old are you now?
I'm 27.
I hate you. Okay. So now,
Legitimate.
do you like New York better than Jersey?
I don't really remember much from Jersey. I was in high school.
Yeah.
I love New York right now. Just being there, it's awesome. Like I said, I was walking around here in the suburbs. It looks like another planet. Like when you're in New York, you forget how the rest of the world looks like.
Yeah.
You just have New York around you all the time.
Right.
I love it. And I guess starting in comedy, it's really the place to be.
Right. Yeah. Well, Jersey, New York area, yeah. The best audiences. And
actually, I don't know. Like maybe Jersey is also the place to be. I really have no idea.
Right. You don't know yet. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Jersey. They love Jersey. That's why. Yeah. Do you have a car?
I do.
Okay. Cool.
I'm the last person in New York with a car.
Oh, beautiful. You need that. You need
probably
that.
the first person too.
Yes.
Where'd you get a car?
That's
so
right.
I just drove it from Chapel Hill. I left at 3 a.m. I made it to Brooklyn by noon the next day.
Really?
Last year in July, and I'm just gonna keep it on the street under my apartment.
Oh, so you're in Brooklyn?
Well, I live in Queens now. Okay, I moved around. I'm on my 6th apartment.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just think when you live in the city, what are you gonna do with your car? So
Right.
you're outside the city.
And we have street parking. And they're shooting movies all the time.
Yeah.
And TV series, and you have to. They just like cut off a whole block where you can't park. Like I hate when the TV crews come.
All right, Mike, you just did a Montreal Comedy Festival, the biggest thing for comics in the world. Tell us a little bit about that.
First of all, Montreal is a gorgeous city. Kind of looks like New York, but a little bit more on the French style because their first language is French and everybody's speaking French. You're lucky. How many languages do you speak?
I speak a bit of French and then Hebrew and Russian.
Right, see?
Show off.
I'm a typical Jersey guy. I speak Jersey and that's pretty much it. So everybody's out there like, bonsoir, and you're like, yeah, hey, how you doing? But it's great, and it's the greatest festival for comedians. Everybody needs to go. Even if you're an up-and-coming comedian, you've never seen this thing before, there's just thousands and thousands of entertainers from all around the world speaking many different languages, many different shows, and then there's all the industry, the agents and the managers and the producers and the directors, and everybody's looking for the new thing, and then there's the people from Comedy Central, CTV, which is the Comedy Central of Canada, and it's just really amazing, and I was lucky. I was in a show called The Ethnic Heroes of Comedy, which they had a Jewish guy and the Italian guy and a guy from Iraq and then a guy from, I guess, a black guy and the Greek guy. And it's a great thing because the show packs them in. There's 1,500 people every single night. We did 7 shows, and then I did 2 other specific shows. One was called The Nasty Show, where the comedians are extremely filthy. And in that show, the girl in front of me did the typical, filth, dirty, so dirty that people are in shock. And then I went up and reversed it and did it completely clean. Yet they thought I was just as nasty because of the attitude.
Right.
And they didn't, it worked like a charm.
Yeah.
And then we did the TV taping, which was for Comedy Central of Canada, which is called CTV.
Right.
And it was great to do a taping because it's a completely different animal. Yeah. Everybody performing live in front of an audience that just wants to laugh, it's one way, but the typical paid audience to cheer on the right spots is kind of
and every
boring
comic,
and
every
silly.
Comic who's anybody is there, because you said Don Rickles is there. Well,
Don Rickles, Dom Irrera, Seinfeld, Ray Romano, Judy Gold.
Right.
Jimmy
Norton.
Norton had his own show. This other guy who does his own show. I brought everything for your class to look at and your friends to look at. I brought all the map of where to go.
Right,
it's an entire map. It's 30 days. And then it goes on tour. It goes to Toronto, Halifax, Chicago.
See, that's something first of all, I didn't realize it was 30 days. I thought it was like a 10-day thing. I didn't realize it was 30. That's amazing. Impressive.
Well, comedy is not just a stand-up performer. They have the performers who go out there with big puppet heads.
Yes.
There's people that were inside tubes. There was people who did the B-52s. I mean, just so many different things to see.
Yeah.
And bands, rock bands, comedy bands. I mean, I don't know how many people are there, but millions.
Yeah.
Millions of people.
Every comic, go. You got to go. Superstitions. Do you have any?
Not really. Just rehearse, pray.
There you go. Pray.
Rehearse, pray. Breathe.
Right. And that's it. Pam, superstitions?
Even if I know it really, really well, I still go over it a bunch of times before, just that makes me feel comfortable.
It makes you feel good, yeah. Things you hate that people do, whether it's a comic or an audience member, before you go on.
So I hate that they do. Yell something out. I don't appreciate that because I have to respond, and I'm like, I was just rehearsing. Excuse me.
Right. Yeah.
Or interrupt me when I'm trying to rehearse. Like I'm not crazy. I'm not talking to myself. I'm rehearsing the lines, and then if they come up and want to talk, and then I feel like I'm being rude.
Yeah.
So, but
that's the thing. As you move up the ladder, your friends are the worst because they don't understand. You have to get in your mindset, and they do interrupt you constantly. And this is what I hated, because I manage comics, great ones like Mike Marino, and I watch. They'll ask me, "Can I talk to Mike?" And I'll say no. He's getting ready. And this is no lie. All friends will go, it's just 1 second, and they just go up to him anyway when I turn around, and they talk to him about something dumb. That's, as he's getting on for a big concert or big theater. So, that's what they do. It's just, but I think they want to do it because they want to feel really big to their other friends. Because they're always bringing friends
that makes sense,
to meet Mike, and that's what they do. Superstitions?
I feel like I'm the comic everybody else around here hates, because I just like... I talk to anybody. Like anybody who's talking.
Yeah.
I just want to talk with people.
Yeah.
I think actually the last show I did where you saw me.
Right.
My first minute was stuff I came up with 5 minutes before I went on.
Really?
Just talking to the other guys, kind of upstairs, because they didn't. There was no room downstairs for the comics to see the show. Just sitting upstairs, and anybody who's willing to talk to other comics, I'm trying to talk and meet people.
Right.
Trying to get in the mindset of talking to people. Like it's hard for me to sit in silence.
Right.
And then go on stage and start talking.
Oh wow,
like,
that's okay. That's
I'm doing pretty short sets.
Yeah.
But like, I remember my set.
Right.
It's not
yeah.
that
You're
long.
doing 5 minutes, 10, 7. Yeah.
And if I forgot a minute from the middle, I'll like, stick in something else.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. I guess other people hate me for that.
No.
No, it's
Hey,
good
Jacob,
that you could
shut
be
up.
that way.
Just let me zone in.
That'll change, but right now, try not to let it change, because that's the coolest thing that you can do. That try not to let it, but it will change. Mike.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I go into my head. I don't want to talk to nobody. I got things to think about, and
So if his friends and family are watching, you hear that. So next time we're at a concert, you don't have to come.
My brothers usually call me 10 minutes before I go on. What are you doing? Getting ready to perform. When are you done?
You come over Sunday? You coming over Sunday? Let's go to the beach.
We're going to eat. That's what I hate the most. Everybody wants to take you to dinner, which is great, but you're like, what time's your show? 8 o'clock. You want to go to dinner? We're going to dinner like 7.
Yeah.
I'm like, so when I'm done, I go on stage all bloated and slow, right? Yeah, that's a good thing. You think the audience can't see you burping? I think he burped.
My greatest audiences, what state, what part of the country do you love work? Or is it Canada? Like where, what?
I don't know. Of course, you always want to play in New Jersey. And it's the home team and all your friends, and well, not your friends, but the fans, the Jersey fans. That's really, really great. But I tell you, playing in different states and different countries is a high.
Yeah.
I mean, the Canadians were going absolutely crazy. Right. They have an affection for just a Jersey attitude.
Right.
The voice alone, how he's doing. People just were like, "Oh, this guy's great."
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got to walk out to really cool Jersey music.
Yeah.
So people were just cheering before I even said hello.
Right.
I'm like, "What's up, Montreal? Thank you."
Right.
You can get off. Bye.
Right.
It's an attitude, so.
This is fans now. Fans, I know you're new, so we'll start with you. Do you have fans yet? And do you like them?
Besides my mom?
Yes.
I guess, really my classmates, and that's how I started.
Right,
so I was in school, and we had a comedy show.
Right.
So my first time on stage, before I ever did an open mic in anything, was a theater 300 people.
Wow.
Like a classmate, it's a pretty big program, so
Yeah.
they've seen me around, but they didn't really know me.
Yeah.
And I thought I'll just do it, have some fun. Maximum people forget my name, they'll confuse me with the other Israeli guy in class.
Yeah.
And people just loved it. People kept coming up to me like 2 weeks later, tell me how awesome I was, I guess, because the standards are pretty low. Like in a college town, there's not a lot of stuff happening there.
Right.
Like, am I actually good at this? So it's like those are my fans. So if any of my classmates are in New York, they come to see my shows once in a while.
Good. That's fans. So
I guess.
Yeah. Fans.
That's cool.
I have a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've collected a few here and there, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
But I'm saying, what happens when you're doing a bigger show and things like that? Sometimes, do you like when the fans come to you before the show? I'm saying, and after the show when you're trying to come down, you're trying to unwind. Do you love them coming up to you constantly and talking and pictures and all that?
Yeah, I like it afterwards because I'm kind of chilling down.
Right.
Before, I kind of have to agree with Mike and Pam about not being disturbed, but I think I've handled it pretty well.
Yeah.
That people that have come up, I've made it short. And then I just walk away,
right?
And I walk around a lot. But most people come up afterwards, and I think the recognition of the green thing. Somebody said something to me. Oh yeah, you're the one that likes green, or you're Bruce's girlfriend, and that was pretty cool. Like hearing that, right? Because seeing somebody at this one show, and then. He saw us at another show, and he's like, "Yeah, you're the one with Springsteen," and and that was pretty cool because it's no expectations. I'm just doing my act, and to hear people say that once in a while,
makes you happy.
I know it's on the other end of the spectrum, say as Mike. But yeah, it's nice for a boost.
Yeah. Pam, what kind of fans do you have?
I actually just started getting people like me that I don't know, which was really exciting. Like
That's what a
couple.
fan is.
I know, but not me fans like my mom, like he said. My
no,
grandma
they're not
friends.
fans.
Yeah,
No,
but they are. No, but it was kind of cool. Like the last few shows I did, and I actually did this hosting thing. And when I walked in, there was a couple people like smiling at me real big, and I was like, oh my god. I have no idea who you are, but you know me. That's awesome.
It,
so I like that.
What do you feel you get more, guy fans or girl fans?
I think I get both, but actually I've had a lot of girl fans. Yeah. And it's funny because some of the comics that I will perform with, like more people who've been doing it as long as I have. Some of their wives like love me, so they're like, oh, we'll go. Oh, is Pam there? Oh, well then I'll go. So it's kind of cool. Yeah. So.
I get overeater fans.
Yeah.
Mostly old ladies. And they want to cook for me. Pinch my cheeks.
That's funny.
Tell me I shouldn't be cursing so much.
Yes, that's
Why
funny.
are you cursing? You don't need it.
Right.
I love when older people come over to me and they tell you what you should be doing.
Yes.
You shouldn't be doing that. And what's with that shirt? You should dress nicer.
Yes.
Everybody knows. I think I'm lucky, man. I got little teenage fans.
Yes. Yeah.
Kids come up to me, want to talk to me and imitate me, which is a huge compliment.
Yeah. How old was the youngest kid? Remember that kid that was doing you? He was impersonating you?
Impersonating me.
Yeah, he was
watch
like
what
6.
you say on TV.
Do it.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Well, now it's because of the cruise ships, you get the children.
Yeah.
I had that one kid that was a great story because he didn't speak English that well. He was from Guadalajara, and I met him on a cruise ship. And he was dressed up in his little soccer uniform, and his parents were talking to me, and they were like, "Oh, son is your biggest fan." So I knelt down, and I'm like, "You understand me?" And he imitated me. He went like this. And I'm like, "Oh, I got to take him home."
Merchandise. These guys aren't on the merchandise level yet. Tell everybody about the merchandise. There you go. Merchandise. When you're trying to sell merchandise, I know most of the people just want to say hi to you and they get in your way.
Yeah.
So we'll do a 2-part question. First of all, how did you start the merchandise? When did you start it? And then go into the people that bug you when you're trying to sell because they don't realize it is a business.
Well, I started merchandise, I guess, a long time ago when I would sell copies of my show.
Every show, yeah.
Yeah, and there were VHS copies, so it was a pain in the neck because there were huge cases just trying to get rid of that. And then naturally you went into T-shirts. If you can get a sponsor to put his name on your shoulder and you put Mike Marino in the front, you were selling T-shirts. And then after that, DVDs, and then more and more DVDs, and then you come up with the novelties. So I came out with little baseball bats. I actually had big baseball bats when I started. They were ones that you would get at a baseball game.
Yeah.
What do they call them? Baseball bats that you get at a baseball game. They were about 1.5 feet long. So I had those, and it said Vinny get the bat on it, but people started beating each other in the parking lot. Maybe they started off as a joke and they would hit each other.
Yeah.
But then I got in a lot of trouble, so I was being held responsible.
Right.
So I started coming out with the rubber ones. I don't know if you remember them, but they were these things that they go to a basketball game and they hit the, I don't know, clacks.
Right, yeah.
So they brought them to the show, and they are actually using it during the show, so you couldn't hear me perform. So I got rid of that, and I downsized to a keychain.
Right, yeah.
So now I sell Get the Back keychain. The shirts now look like this. They come in blue and white and black. They say New Jersey's Bad Boy. And they come in matching tank tops for guys, tank tops for girls. What do they call the...
underwear?
No, I sell the underwear. I got panties for girls.
Panties, that's
It says Get the Bat on the butt.
Right.
In fact, we're looking for new girls to be wearing the panties. You get
and what size
put on the website. Small, medium, large, and don't wear these panties because they don't look good on everybody. What else do I have? I used to sell flip-flop sandals.
Oh, cool.
It said walk in my shoes, and it said Get the Bat.
Yeah.
But that guy went out of business, so now I just... I guess that's it on the merchandise.
And talk about advertising.
8x10s.
Yeah. Talk about advertising to them.
Well, I advertise, of course, on the internet, but now I have a marketing guru in California, and she does the Twitter and the MySpace and the Facebook. Remember MySpace? Yeah, I'm not on MySpace anymore.
Now, before all that, though, because I've been with Mike, as everybody knows, forever, and I always tell the younger comics how you always brought people to every show, no matter what. You did the hard work. So before all this computer stuff, you were doing it. How did you do it then? Was it phone calls? Was it just going out and...
Yeah, before the computer, I would run. I used to run a show on a Tuesday night.
Right.
I put in 10 comedians, and then I would make them a master flyer.
Right.
Put them on the flyer and say, now you go make 100 of these, and everybody make 100 of these, and just give them out to everybody and everybody. And I had a huge mailing list. I would write it out, write it out, write it out. Then when the computer came around, I would print out.
Yeah.
And I still do it.
Yeah.
Now I just have really cool postcards with return address and my logo on the back. So if I'm going to do a specific show, let's say the Borgata, I'll take 500.
In November.
November 21st.
Friday.
Yes, it's Friday. And we stay there.
We'll be there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, 3 days and 3 nights of...
A lot of food for me. He doesn't eat anymore. A lot of food for me.
No, I don't.
Right.
The Metropolitan. Oh,
yes.
The place is the best. They should give us money for that. That was a
yes,
great
that's right.
plug.
Randy, if you're listening to this, Randy.
Hey, Randy. No. What was I saying? Oh, I put the postcards in the mail still.
Right, yeah.
500.
You do.
Come out on little prints.
You still hand them out, too? Every show you still hand them out?
Hand out.
Yeah.
In fact, this last weekend in the Catskills, I handed out hundreds of postcards to the Rawway show that we did months ago.
Yes.
Because I don't like wasting anything. And they look at it and go, hey, wait a minute.
Yes.
This show happened a long time ago. And I go, yeah, but my website's on it.
All the information is there.
Don't waste paper.
Yes.
And then I autograph it.
Yes.
So you know what I did this weekend for some nostalgia? I have some T-shirts from when we did the Paramount in 2006. And I figured I only have one that's never been worn.
Right.
And I was selling these for $20, and I said, if anybody would like to buy a rare Mike Marino T-shirt, it's $50.
Wow!
And I sold it.
No!
Yeah, I should have put it on eBay.
Oh, that's cool.
I sold a shirt for $50. Cost $3.
So
Hope
anyway,
he's not watching.
I'm sorry. Advertising is the biggest friend right now a comic has because the comedy business is a lot harder. And the people who stay and grow, like Mike, he did things right, and he did it from the beginning. He advertised. He always made sure people at shows always, every show he ever did, whether it was big or small, everybody knew about it, and he made every show big. That was the other thing. You really didn't know if you were going to the Paramount Theater or to a small Bob Gonzo room. Okay, so anyway, but he made every show.
Like right now.
Yeah. He made every show big. So I just want to tell all the comics out there, advertise, man. I know it's hard. I know it's a pain in the butt. But
a lot of comics don't want to.
Right. And
why wouldn't you want to?
Yeah.
Mike is going to sell us copies of this show, even though it's free.
Yes, that's right. That's right. He's going to sell it to you.
Oh, yes, I will.
They're free online or $5 on DVD.
Here's really good advertising.
Yeah.
We get someone like Pam to wear one of my baby doll T-shirts.
Right.
And you give her a set in your show.
Right.
Right? And when she's done doing the show and we're all done with the show, we go outside and we sell the merchandise. She's standing there selling the merchandise, wearing that shirt.
Right.
She will quadruple what I would sell.
Yes.
If I was standing there going, come on, buy my DVD, buy my DVD, then we'll come over. All she has to do is go, hi.
Right.
Sells everything.
Right.
So let me know if you're available.
I'm available. That wasn't a conceited laugh, I promise.
That's right.
That was a cha-ching laugh. Okay.
Nothing like a good-looking girl selling somebody else's merchandise. It's the way to be.
Margaret, something you want to say to a comic out there right now that is starting, even though you're relatively still new, but you're doing really good. You're working with a lot of big people. You actually worked with Mike Marino. You worked with Uncle Floyd. You worked with a lot of people. So something you want to say to the comics out there right now to help them and misconceptions.
Well, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hard work. Everything we've said tonight is true, but it's just behind the scenes stuff that you just don't know about until you start it. Get yourself a good teacher.
Right.
I have the best.
Oh, I love you.
Gonzo. He's the best, and he would never steer me wrong. And I see the way he teaches everybody the same. He's very dedicated and loyal to his people. And, I feel confident having such a good teacher like that. And I'm not just saying that. That has made me the impetus to go on. Because I'm
impotent too, but I don't talk about it.
And then watching people like Mike, just people have been around like forever and ever. Uncle Floyd, never thinking when I was younger, watching him on TV that I would actually be working with him, introducing him, talking to him. So it's just one of those dream things.
That is cool. I'm glad you said that because that is neat. Because you watched Uncle Floyd, and when Mike started, he wanted to work with these guys. And now Mike is there. They open up for him, which is really weird because that's how this business can be. It's a fantasy, but once it hits reality, it is the neatest thing. Because everybody, who was a Floyd fan, but we only have a few more minutes, so we're going to go to everybody. Something you want to say to the comics?
To new comics?
Yeah.
Okay. Biggest thing, don't work dirty because that's the biggest thing I see with new comics. They think dirty stuff is going to work and it doesn't. Yeah. And don't go over your time. That's another thing I see all the time, and it's flashing and the lights flashing, and they just pay no mind to it. Yep. And don't get drunk. Which I see, but I see it a lot. They go up, they're like, "Oh, I'm a new comic. I'm so cool. I'm gonna talk about dirty things and drink a beer on stage." Right. Then they're like, "Oh, why is nobody calling me?"
Yes, and that's why.
Yeah, so that's my advice.
Can I just
Beautiful.
Say one more
go
thing?
ahead.
And don't steal material.
Yes.
Thank you. You reminded me of that.
I want to do a whole segment on that next time because that is great. Jacob, you're new, so what do you want to say to the pros to help you?
I'm giving advice to the pros or to...
No, you want to ask the pro. What do you want to ask pros, for advice or help? What would you ask somebody? Like if you had Mike Marino sitting here, what would you ask him?
To me, the tension right now, I'm not trying to become an empire like Mike Marino Enterprises. I'm at this stage, I'm just trying to become good. And I feel like at some point, if you try to go out and advertise yourself too much and do too many shows and you suck, you're like, oh, Jacob is like the guy who's not funny. Like I think I'm very funny, but I thought I was very funny a year ago when I was like doing my second open mic. So like, at one point, like how can you tell false confidence from like, how do you tell when you're ready for different things? Like how do you tell when you're ready to like actually go and tell someone, hey, I really have 15 minutes, let me do 15. How do you tell when you're ready to go to a festival like Montreal?
Oh, wow. The festival's a long time off because a lot of those people are in the business quite some time, and they do have new faces, but they're probably in the business 4 or 5 years, and they're with agencies.
Yes. Yeah.
But if you don't want to advertise, just going to regular open mics, that's probably what you should be doing. But when you come to a booked show, that's when you want to tell everybody, come and check you out. So if I was doing a show and he was producing the show and they were on the show, that's when you would start saying to everybody, hey, you got to come and see this. But not open mics. I mean, what are you doing? Bringer shows in New York City?
Yeah.
That's kind of tough, huh?
All right, we got 1 minute. Tough. My producer just said we got 1 minute. Mike, something that you want to tell the young comics out there. They can learn a lot from you. What do you want to say?
Just don't give up.
Yes!
Hey.
There you go.
All right, everybody. Pat says we are done. It always goes by so fast. I want to thank all my comics. They're all great. Thank you very much. Big round of applause for them. Yes. Wow. We will see you next time on Bob Gonzo's Comics of the Roundtable. I love you all. God bless. Good night. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.